7% salary increase in April this year. The increase was part of the last leg of a 2-year wage deal signed by public sector trade unions. At the time, some labor unions accused government of undermining the collective bargaining process by unilaterally implementing a 3% wage increase in the first year. The South African Federation of Trade Unions, SABC, says it was strategic to kick off consultations early.
The reason why we are starting the negotiations early is informed by the fact that the processes at the SABC have always been misaligned with the processes within the National Treasury to consolidate and finalize the medium-term budget policy statement and consequently the national budget, which is presented in February. So we have decided, therefore, to start these negotiations at least before the finalization of the medium-term budget policy statement of 2024, so that by the time either at the end of October or beginning of November, when the minister does bring the midterm budget, we have already factored in our own demands in that particular budget.
The country is now under the government of national unity, and the workers want the new Minister of Public Service and Administration to take a worker-friendly approach to wage negotiations. The Federation of Unions of South Africa, FEDUSA, is worried about the impact of austerity measures in the public sector.
We expect nothing less from the minister. She has a job to fulfill. And in this instance, we are referring, in essence, there are two ministers. I was referring to the Minister of Labour now, but we also have the Minister of Public Service and Admin, where the ultimate jurisdiction is. And even though there are engagements and collaborations, ultimately with the Minister of Finance as well, we expect them to continue in the same vein to uphold the process of good faith negotiations and bargaining.
The Congress of South African Trade Unions, COSATU, says the workers want an inflation-linked wage increase and will embark on a study of the country's economic outlook ahead of their first meeting with the new minister at the Bargaining Council.
The process includes where the employer would on its own go and look at the economic outlook, and similarly on our side we do a study and research in terms of the economic outlook, and we're able to present from the employer and ourselves and agree that what we are seeing is the same. Then we place our demands. The employer will then place a response in terms of an offer on the table, and then that process is going to be rigorous.
The unions have launched a united front, guided by a signed protocol agreement on their approach to the new round of talks. The Public Servants Association believes the unions will be able to stay the course, united in their approach to the employer.
The cost of living has increased. Fuel prices, although it's coming down, on average it has escalated. The cost of electricity, I see there's a demand now by Eskom to increase the tariffs once more. The cost of basic foods have increased tremendously. So one would look at the real wage increase as opposed to a cost of living inflation rate linked wage increase.
The public sector unions will be meeting later on this month to agree on their way forward following the consultation process with their members. Katlego Logodi, SABC News in Johannesburg.